Choices, choices, choices. To kill that one enemy or to spare them, to romance this person or that person, to eat 10 custard creams or just settle for 5. Gaming gives players a lot of power when it comes to choices, but sometimes you might just have preferred them to choose for you. With that in mind, I'm Josh from WhatCulture.com, and these are 10 recent RPG choices we regret making. Number 10. Selling the cursed boots. Starfield. Starfield is a flawed game for sure, but it's still a treasure trove of fun adventures and silly side quests, with the boot being one of the daftest, yet potentially also deadliest. When visiting the UC Surplus shop for the second time in the well, you'll find the owner, Antonio, arguing with someone who claims he sold her a pair of cursed boots. Naturally, you're intrigued, and after Antonio takes the boots back, he fills you in on the bad luck they seem to bring everyone who wears them. To rid himself and anyone else of the curse, he tasks you with flying to the den and stashing them away. The thing is, once you get there, a worker named Conrad offers you 500 credits to sell them to him. Well, at this point, you're probably thinking, hey, what's the harm? It's only a pair of boots. They can't really be cursed, surely. I mean, this is a world of science, not a world of magic. Well, when coming back to this area after selling them to Conrad, you'll find that he's actually been crushed to death by a fallen crate. A freak coincidence, or has the bad luck struck again? Well, I'll let your conscience decide. Number 9. Helping Bok become human. Elden Ring. Oh, Bok, you poor, poor little soul. This tragic demi-human is a beacon of loyalty in Elden Ring, which is saying a lot given that even the game's nicest characters would stab you in the back for pennies. As such, when given the option to help him achieve his desire of being reborn with a decent appearance, how could you possibly refuse the little guy? I mean, nothing could go wrong with this, right? It's just a nice little request. Yeah, well, prepare to cry. That's because Bok the Seamster's questline concludes with the option to give him a larval tear so that he can go to Renala and be reborn as a human. He's done so much for you, so this simple request seems like the least you can do, really. However, while he does get reborn into a human body as a consequence of this, attempting to talk to him afterwards in the Academy of Rhea Lucaria results in him being entirely unresponsive. And sadly, things get even worse if you reload the area, as you'll find him dead. No fanfare, no happy ending, just plain old misery. It certainly lends credence to the classic FromSoft adage, why is it always suffering? Number 8. Refusing to let Ota go. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a game where consequences hang over your head like a never-ending rain cloud. Plenty of minor choices can result in massive ramifications, and the quest of Bad Blood is a fine example of just how badly things can actually go. This is a quest bringing with convolution and family drama, but to put it plainly, it takes place after a lady named Dehenan asks you to find her missing daughter, Pavlena. Along the way, you'll learn that Pavlena is pregnant, that her lover was inadvertently killed, and that she has been taken hostage by a fella named Ota. Eventually, you'll find this guy holding her by a blade's edge. You're then given the choice to let him go in exchange for her life or to pursue justice. If you tell him that you aren't willing to let him go, though, he'll respond quickly and violently by slitting Pavlena's throat. Yes, your actions led to the death of a pregnant woman, and it's now your job to go and tell her family what happened. The quest continues from here, but if you make this mistake, then regret will be your companion throughout. Number 7. Sending Jackie to a Ripperdoc. Cyberpunk 2077. Losing your best friend, the lovable Jackie Wells in Cyberpunk 2077 hurts, but after all, this is Night City, and you don't get much time to mourn afterwards. Instead, you have a choice to make, and it's one you'll severely regret if you screw it up. After Jackie's untimely demise, you're tasked with deciding where to send his body, either to his family or to a Ripperdoc. Now, you might think it would make sense to send the body to his family. However, if you're anything like me, you might actually opt to send it to friendly Victor instead, with the idea that he'll then be able to take Jackie's body in and inform his family of his death, rather than just have Jack's blood-stained corpse show up on the doorstep of his unexpecting mother. I mean, that would be a bit traumatic, wouldn't it, with no warning that this is about to happen? Well, tragically, if you do decide to choose Victor, this option leads to a twisted outcome where Arasaka thugs steal Jackie's body and take it for the company. This gets even worse if you go down the devil ending, as you'll discover that Arasaka has turned your former bestie into an engram. You can talk to this dystopic, digitalized version of your former friend, but it's just a twisted reflection of him, and boy howdy, does it hurt to know you essentially did this to him. Number 6. Telling Dehenan to neglect her soul twin, Avowed. Avowed is an RPG that provides a plenty of juicy content for budding side questers doused in tough moral choices. One of the earliest quests, Cabin Fever, hits the ground running in that regard, as it comes equipped with a potentially regretful decision to be made. The quest starts after you speak to a woman named Dehenan as she calls out for help in Clavage's Landing. It's eventually revealed that this woman has a bizarre counterpart, as half of her soul has made its way inside a Zorup. From there, you must decide whether to convince Dehenan to try living in harmony with her twin, or just to ignore them entirely. And in fairness, it does make sense to avoid the reptilian monster, even if it's got part of you in it, considering they act as the bad guys for the majority of this story. And yet, telling her to do just that leaves you with this feeling of emptiness inside, because on top of the melancholy implications, this choice also robs you of a banging item known as the Vindictive Band that inflicts poison damage on enemies with every critical hit. So yeah, it seems like ignoring the power of friendship does have its consequences. Number 5. Choosing your animal companion, Octopath Traveler 2. It's easy to feel guilty when a video game decision leaves one character thriving and another suffering. Well, imagine that feeling dialed up to 11 then, and you've got this outcome in Octopath Traveler 2. Uchet's story in this JRPG sequel throws you into the shoes of a young beastling girl destined to become the protector of a small island. The first step on this journey is to choose an animal companion to name, befriend, and bond with, and you're given the option of an owl or a jackal. Now, you'd probably assume that there are no real stakes to this choice, but there is an underlying tragedy to this decision that cannot be outrun. Like a kid picked last in the playground, the animal you don't go for is destined for misery. The rejected creature is quickly cursed, eventually contorting into a monstrous being known as the Darkling of the Sorrowful Moon. Kick-ass name, by the way. They actually become the final boss of this story, meaning that your decision turns a cute little critter into a horrifying, sorrowful beast. And yeah, I bet you feel bad now, don't you? Nobody likes getting picked last. I certainly should know. Number 4. Exploring the Toilet Hole, Fear and Hunger 2, Termina. Some of you may be familiar with the twisted survival horror RPG Fear and Hunger, but if you don't, all you need to know is that this game is so cruel and punishing that it will take any opportunity to humble you. This choice is one of the finest examples of that, and while it hurts the first time, it absolutely devastates the second. That's because the first Fear and Hunger game, released in 2018, infamously gave players the option to climb into a toilet hole found in the game's dungeon. And listen, it might sound disgusting, but what is any sensible, self-respecting gamer going to do but go for that option? I mean, the developers wouldn't put it there if there wasn't something down the toilet hole, right? Well, sadly, after delving into this messy latrine, all your character gets is trapped in a poop-infested pit with absolutely no way out. And I'm not exaggerating there. Your options, if you do go down, are only either take your own life or wait for the fumes to kill you. Now, 2018 is kind of far from being recent, but thankfully, more for the purposes of this list than for your own enjoyment anyway, the game's sequel, Fear and Hunger 2 Termina, provides players with this very same conundrum. But I mean, surely the dev wouldn't pull this trick twice. There has to be something in there now, right, to reward us for trying this in the first game. Well, no, because diving in gives you the exact same result. Regret, thy name is Toilet Hole. Number 3, giving your heart to Geppetto, Lies of P. Lies of P is a game less concerned with forcing you into moral choices than it is plunging you into kick-ass boss fights. That said, the endgame does rely on your decision-making skills, and let's just say the more trusting you are, the more regret you will feel. One of the game's endings, the real boy ending, seems like a decent choice on paper. After defeating Simon Malice, you link up with your creator Geppetto, and he asks you to give him your heart while promising you to make you a real boy. And hey, you are Pinocchio after all, being a real boy sounds pretty great. However, this choice quickly and tragically reveals the true intentions of your monstrous creator. If you offer Geppetto your heart, he'll actually rip it out and use it to revive his dead son Carlo. You then discover that all the death throughout the game was born from Geppetto's desire to harvest, ergo steal your heart and bring back his son. And nothing makes you feel less like a real boy and more of a puppet than agreeing to this. Number 2. Revealing Albert's infidelity, Dragon's Dogma 2. Many entries on this list deal with big scale tragedy and massive character implications. This one, however, is more rooted in the domestic, i.e. the corruption of a marriage. And the thing is, while it begins small, it can end in bloody fashion. Dragon's Dogma 2 has a quest in Vernworth known as a beggar's tale that does, again, start simple enough. You're tasked with following a suspicious beggar, eventually discovering that he's leading a double life, with a wife in the slums named Selina and another in the noble quarter named Hilda. So yeah, what a scumbag, but after uncovering this, you can then reveal to him that you know his secret, or opt to tell the women about his treachery. Now, many of you will likely believe the righteous choice is to expose his infidelity to Selina, the first wife you meet. However, doing so will actually result in a tragic end to this quest, as after some time, you'll learn from a guard that she's actually killed Albert and herself in a horrifying display. So yeah, it seems like some transgressions, in this world anyway, are best kept secret. Number 1. Helping Estarion ascend, Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3's resident sexy vampire man is easily one of the game's most beloved figures. His journey from a backstabbing jerk to a well-rounded companion proves that even the worst of people have the capacity for change. As such then, screwing up this arc really sucks. Throughout Estarion's questline, you learn that his controlling, abusive master, Cazador, plans to sacrifice 7,000 of his spawn, including Estarion himself, to become an almighty vampire ascendant. After putting an end to this sickening plot, Estarion then expresses his desire to finish the ritual for himself, killing his brothers and sisters to gain an immense amount of power. So the decision you have to make is, are you going to help him do it or not? Naturally, helping Estarion does make him a lot more powerful, however, you'll soon regret your decision as he becomes the very thing that he hated. His jerkish behavior grows even stronger, which, combined with a thirst for power and control, all but turns him into Cazador 2.0. That's right, you could have broken the cycle of abuse, but instead, you just decided to start it all over again. Are you happy now?